Good day to you. My name is Maria Kądzielska and this is Poland Daily Culture, and today we're talking about the lifestyle and the way how we work and how we live. Is the time of offices over or is it coming back? And this is a question to Craig Smith, the publisher of Europa Property. Craig, again, thank you very much for showing up here.
Thank you for having me on the show as well. Yeah.
And we went through the time of pandemic, which of course was a huge challenge because a lot of people just became a homebody.
Right.
So people are staying at home, working there, living there, not actually living their bed anymore. But it also changed the mentality of many offices and businesses, because a lot of companies said, okay, we don't have to rent the office anymore. We don't have to pay for your coffee anymore. We don't have to clean it. You just stay at home and we pay for the fact that you have a good camera and a good laptop and nothing more. Is it going to stay this way, or the time of offices is coming back in a different form? Would you say?
Well, of course, during lockdown, no choice, right? They're locked down, the buildings are closed, you couldn't get out. And that was now over a year ago. But I would say when I'm talking to most of the big corporate companies that are renting space, they're not at all saying it's the end, that what they're doing, and they're not saying at all like, hey, we don't want to pay for your coffee anymore. They're actually coming up with more reasons why to get people back in the office. So I would say definitely whenever you hear someone speaking on the news or whatever, office market is dead, they're probably not in the office market, because otherwise they wouldn't say that. The big corporate companies that are if they haven't signed anything or doing anything new, it's just because they haven't decided yet what to do. But what I'm talking to the big corporate end users, where they're taking a lot of space, they're really trying to get people back. They want to get people back, because they're losing, maybe the first few months they weren't losing, now they're losing connectivity with their employees, and they really want that back. And whether it's meeting in the office 1 day a week or 5 days a week or 3 days a week, there's some balance there. And they really are going into the office, going these office buildings, taking a look at what they need to do really to get people back. And one example would be, we were dealing with a couple of companies, and they would spend $1 million on the reception because clients are coming in. Yeah. I mean, just on the reception, it would be great. Clients come in, great reception. Now I'd say they're moving that money. They care less about the reception and say, let's make the employee sort of community center better, or bigger or nicer, and how to react with other employees. And I think most companies, and some IT companies would disagree, but most companies really want people back in the office, discussing, figuring out how to move the company forward. And if they're hiring, I see the biggest problem people have, or companies have, is they hire someone new and that person doesn't feel loyal or any connection to the business unless they come to the office and really meet the other workers.
And all the both relations with people, actually, you're finding your other half at office, or
a lot of times you are.
What about this? It's we're losing all of those possibilities.
Well, I think a lot of your viewers have found girlfriends, boyfriends, husbands, wives at work, because you're at work a lot of hours.
Time.
Yeah.
And the other thing, you're just in front of your computer at home. And so it's more in the way of a hybrid. So you can work from home, but you can also go to the office, which is usually a lot of companies are trying to make it more modern, more friendly for the employees.
Exactly. And also I'd say more accessible. So you can go in anytime you want. You have a key card, you move, it's just even automatic. So if you want to go in, they're almost going to 24 hours, some of them. So you don't have to. If you want to meet with your boss and 2 colleagues, you've also got the software where you just type it in. They all see they're all coming on Tuesday at 10. So you come Tuesday at 10 because that's when your colleagues are going to be there, for example.
So sort of through the pandemic, the good element of pandemic, it seems like it flexibility. It kind of took us out of the boxes by force.
By force, yes.
And suddenly showed us, but it is possible, and it's not, and we're not losing that much money on it. But maybe it's a different way of doing things, and you don't have to sit there from 8 to 4 or from 9 to 5. But there could be sort of flexibility more and more, and you could have your own key to your office.
Yeah, you can make. I think a lot of people are making their own schedules, and of course, I think if it's more newer employees, probably they need to be in the office more, just to meet the bosses, to discuss what's going on. Of course, they can do that over Zoom calls and things like that, but it's just not the same. So the companies that I'm talking to, they generally want. They're not necessarily looking for more space or less space, just different space. And of course, a lot of them are looking for newer buildings that have a lot more of the either green factors in, or some of these a lot of them are
Slide.
a lot of them are shooting for net zero carbon. Slides.
I would love a slide in
yeah.
TV Republica. So that's what we're actually asking for right now, a slide in every office so you can just go down and have some fun. Anyway, stay with us and think about your future in the office and your future in the company. And again, thank you very much for watching Poland Daily Culture. Stay tuned.